So, if possible, if it's convenient for you, please keep your videos on so that it looks more interactive as we talk. That's what. And today's session especially is going to be more interactive than presentation driven. So I would really request, if it's convenient for you, please do keep your videos on. It will be really helpful. And the reason why we have these meetings, the purpose of these meetings is to ensure that we are getting together, learning continuously, and challenging each other to grow our businesses continuously. That's the purpose. And of course, we have a small network where we network with each other. We try to promote our businesses. We try to connect each other. So all that happens. And we focus on the pathfinder stage of business. That is somebody who is already identified what business they want to be in. They've gone through that initial steps of establishing the business, and now they're looking at finding a path for growth. Okay, so that's a segment of businesses that we speak about, and all the insights that we give is for that segment of business. This started about 5 to 6 years back when three friends we started helping each other out with business strategy and how to grow our businesses, and that's how it all started. We have a community called bacommunity.me where you can register and you can post about your business. We also have a tool where you can set goals and track your goals at bgsm.rejola.com. And today, again, we'll be focusing on the individual, how an individual can improve his or her performance. We have a WhatsApp group where you can post about your business. You can ask for referrals. You can, connect each other there. And today we have Mr. Suresh, who is a chief coach at SB Coaching Services Private Limited, and he helps businesses, he helps individuals, executives to grow their business, and of course various other things. But more than that, one fact about him is he reads more than 50 books per annum, both in reading format and listening format. And he is like a walking encyclopedia. So just before this meeting started, I was asking him about, how to enhance brain and whether drugs play a role in it and all those kind of things. So he was giving a very systematic answer to it from various references. So I said, okay, probably that can be the next session. Whenever Mr. Suresh is free, he can enlighten us on those topics also. So for now, the topic for today is champion mindset to become a successful entrepreneur. So over to you, Mr. Suresh. So this will be more of an interactive session. So all of you will have to take notes. We will not be having a presentation screen sharing. So
Yes,
please take notes and ask any questions that you have. Yeah, over to you, Mr.
yes.
Suresh.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for the opportunity, and happy New Year to every one of you here. And I think we are meeting for the first time. I'm coming to the BGSM meeting in 2020 for the first time. So I just wanted to state 10 key elements to have this champion mindset to become a successful entrepreneur. So I want you all to rate yourself on every single point. And please be honest with yourself. You don't need to reveal your scores and nothing like that, but you have to be evaluating yourself to see where it is, because we are starting something, right? So this year is just born, and there's a much more possibility if you are assessing properly and planning what you want to achieve, right? So there are 10 commandments or 10 elements to to develop this champion mindset. The first is champion mindset demands to believe that you want to be the greatest in your field. Do you really believe you want to be the greatest in your field? Thomas can, for example, if Thomas wants to have a champion mindset, he should believe that he wants to be the greatest IT service company. Likewise, ask yourself and rate yourself. Okay, definitely, I'm going to. I have this mindset. I want to be the greatest, not success, not doing okay, but to be the greatest in the industry. Do you have this idea to become the greatest in or two? If yes, it's you are fully agreeing with it, you can rate 9 or 10. So from 1 to 10 scale, you can rate yourself. Have you given the rating? Okay. If you have given the rating, I want you to break down these 3 things actually. So what are the goals you have set? Have you set a goal first? If yes, does that goal is a scary or stretch goal? That means if you think it should not be possible for you to achieve, common sense should not think it is possible to achieve itself. So first of all, have you set the goal? Does that goal scare you, or is it a stretch goal? 3, do you think you have mental toughness to achieve that stretch goal? So when you are rating, then you have to rate all these things individually. And if it averages nearly to the first rating, that is, I believe I want to be the greatest, right? So for example, if you have rated 7, and if we're averaging out of these 3 things, I have a goal, it is career, stretchable goals, I have mental toughness. If that is not near to 7, then there is a misalignment. You have not aspired to be greatest. You can check yourself that those 3 things. Right? I'm clear, right? Are you able to understand?
Yeah, you are clear. So I'm also trying to put whatever I'm getting over here.
Yes, super.
Yeah.
Okay. And second important thing is they are highly resilient, but are optimistic on situations. So how do you rate yourself? How resilient are you? And there's something called situational optimism. So as far as I'm as a business coach, I want my entrepreneurs to be resilient more than optimistic. Optimistic means hoping things will happen right. But resilience is whatever happens, I'll bounce back. Okay, so I want my entrepreneurs to be resilient rather than optimistic. But there's something called situational optimism. That means there are key areas or key times you have to perform a very critical task. On those moments, how optimistic you are about yourself. That means how much trust are you having about your skills. If you are not trusting your skills 100% by then, it is going to be a problem. So situational optimism is the point. And second, if you are going to measure the resilience, situational optimism, and what are you talking to yourself at that particular moment? Are you talking positively? Then rate highly. If you are talking negatively, then rate, in a negative manner. What do you allow others to talk to you at that moment? If you are allowing others to talk skepticism, doubts, then rate negatively. If not, rate positively. This will coordinate the resilience quadrant. Okay. So third point is, how do you see yourself? Are you seeing yourself as a very confident? Are you having a very confident self-image about yourself? Or how are you viewing yourself? If you are having a very high confident self-image of yourself, you can rate on the higher side. If you are not having that, you can rate low, actually. So to measure that, answer yourself, am I remembering my failures and mistakes more, or am I remembering my success more? Rate that. If you are remembering failures, you have to rate low. If you are remembering success, you have to rate higher. How much patience I have when I'm anticipating a result? That is the second thing. If it is high, then rate higher. If it is low, then rate lower. Then how much sustained effort I have put in the past to attain something? Sustained effort, longer time effort. So if it is less, rate yourself high. If it is high, rate yourself high. So that's how that is. Again, then comes, you have to respect your talent. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are having a champion mindset, you have to understand that no one can measure or weigh talent. There's a possibility to validate your knowledge. But how do you actually validate a talent? It is highly impossible. So with the champion mindset, you should always respect and think high of your talent. Exceptionally, when you are actually having these critical situations. Okay. So if you have rated that, then you can do the following things for the same thing actually. So have you used your talent to find right mentor or right coach? So having respecting talent doesn't mean being arrogant and not learning. That is completely different. But you trust your talent to find good mentor or good coach. So you can rate on that basis. Then how much coachable I am? How much open to new informations without any resistance that might be against my beliefs. Okay, and Do I think about my competitor's talent more than I think about my talent? If this happens, then you are not respecting your talent enough. So the next thing is commitment to the goal, a core commitment to the goal. So when you have fixed a goal on the first level, you believe you want to be the greatest, and your level of goal will tell you whether you have whether you are thinking yourself as greatest or not, and how much commitment you are giving to the goal. Whether means fixing a goal is one thing, and putting a lot of effort to achieve that goal is something different actually. So are you just having these big goals, and if you are not achieving it, are you okay with it? Or does it bother you to the core? So that is what it is, commitment to the goal. So to measure the commitment, you have to understand these three things actually. Do I understand your understanding about the efforts you have to put? Clarity about the efforts you have to put that to achieve that big goal. If you are very clear, rate on the higher side. If you are not clear, rate on the lower side. Am I aware which habits to avoid to put the sustainable effort? If you are aware, then give higher side ratings. If you are not aware, then have a lower side ratings. If am I aware and doing what are the right habits to put the sustainable efforts? Then next thing is next thing, Thomas. Next point is a champion entrepreneur, a champion mindset entrepreneur will understand. They will have the dare to dream. They know how to convert the dream to a goal, and they know how to set a process to achieve the goal. These three things they know. So they dare to dream. They know how to convert the dream to a goal and have a process to achieve the goal. So you can actually the same thing happens here. The next three things for this holistic things are. So let's understand what is a goal. Due to lack of time, I cannot dive into that very, very deeply. If it is a professional goal, it should be only quantitative. If it is a personal goal, it should be only emotional feeling. What is not a goal is whatever you are doing is actually so, Thomas, this is actually just giving the explanation for goals, nothing else.
Understood.
So what happens is when you are converting this dream to goals, it is very important. This clarity is very important. That's why I'm trying to explain this concept. So whatever you are doing with your physical body is an action plan, not a goal. For example, if I'm setting myself a goal of reading 50 books a year, I'm going to read the books through my eyes. So it can never be a goal. It's an action plan. The reason I'm doing this is the goal. So every goal, personal goal, is an emotional qualification. Okay, emotional fulfillment should be the end result of a personal goal. But for professional, it is always quantitative, right? So once you have a dream, it is very emotional or very personal. So if you are going for a personal goal setting, it is okay. But if you are entrepreneurship, it is a professional goal setting. So you need to understand how to convert the goal to a quantitative number with the logic behind it. So that's the first point. Okay. Have I converted? The first point is, have I converted my professional, my dream into a professional goal? That means quantitatively measurable goal. If yes, you can give higher rating. If no, you can give a lower rating. Okay. Have I figured out the step-by-step process to achieve that goal? Next thing. Rate yourself higher if you have that. Rate yourself lower if you don't have that. Yeah. Then am I aware of the grind that I have to put in to execute the process? If you are aware, then give yourself higher rating, then not lower rating. Got it. Then the next point up, you can come up. And the next point is that they are highly single-minded. In Bhagavad Gita, there's a word called Ekagratam. That means focused, single minded focus. They are not bothered about work-life balance. They are not bothered about anything else. They only are bothered about how to become the greatest in the field. Whatever the field I am in, how to become the greatest in the field. They are very obsessed about it. So ask yourself, am I single-minded in achieving these things? So the other three things which can collaborate for this thing is, do I believe in work-life balance? If you believe, you have to rate yourself lower. If not, you have to rate yourself higher.
Yeah, good.
And do I know the finishing line? For example, am I very clear what I mean by being the greatest in the list? If you are aware of that, then rate yourself higher. If not, rate yourself lower. Then, how would you feel? Are you aware of the feeling that you will be experiencing once you finish the line? Do you know how you will feel? Can you imagine it? Okay. So that's the thing. The fourth thing is, they are obsessed about something called, no, you can come above. Okay. Not here. Come above. The next point, ninth point is, they are obsessed about something called learned effectiveness or learned efficient exceptionalism. You can either call as learned, or sorry for my accent here, learned effectiveness or learned exceptionalism. Okay. So what happens here is, when setbacks happen, you don't bother about the setbacks. You only concentrate on the process. That is called learned effectiveness. So rate yourself higher if you are actually doing that. Rate yourself lower based on the skills. The three things that constitutes are, how much I practice for situations, for the key critical moments that you have discussed on situational optimism, right? So how much I practice to face that key critical moments. But you can rate higher if you are doing it much. You can rate it the same thing. And how do I review my performance every single time? Am I reviewing my performance every single time? Am I letting that negatives creeping in rather than the lessons? So the less score is better here. If you are rating higher, it is bad here. So for information.
Understood.
You can go up. The next point, Thomas, you can go up. So the next ninth point is, they understand being nervous is a symptom that you care about the success. Nervousness will not bog them down. So nervousness should not bog you down.
Okay.
It's a way of caring for your success. So do you feel, how are you relating yourself with nervousness? If you are relating negatively, then rate lower. If you are actually relating negatively higher, then you can rate.
All along, I used to think being nervous is a little bad now, but now I feel nice that I'm able to rate
No,
high
you care.
and feel good.
You care more. So yeah. So what happens here is, because you are nervous because you are also having the clarity of losing the reward. You're not only getting the reward, you are nervous because you are aware that you are losing the reward. So that is what's making you nervous. So the clarity is much higher here. That is what it is basically.
Yeah.
So while doing a big performance or making a big sales call, are you aware of the reward? Answer here. So the points here is, are you aware of the reward while performing a big performance? So that's if it is okay, then it is higher. If you are aware, higher; not aware, lower. Am I aware of the fact what I will use? Do I have the clarity of missing out on that reward? what I lose, not use. What I the same. Are you aware the exact feeling? How would you feel if you are losing that?
Yes, that is quite strong.
The last one. They use failures as pedestals for success. Using failures as no, not here, Melon. Yeah, 10th point. Yeah, they use by surrounding themselves. The same thing. Same thing. There are two elements here. They use pedestal for success by surrounding with correct people, right people. So you have to have this combination. You cannot say I will do it alone also. So you have to get considering both these things. Are you using failure as pedestals and are you surrounding yourself with the right people? That is how. So what happens is, are you asking, are you reviewing every failure? Not only success. Are you reviewing? Sorry, I'm not able to. Are you reviewing every failure? What happened? Why did it miss out? Are you able to list the obstacles that caused the failure? Next one.
Yeah.
So then, am I surrender? I mean, do I have correct mentors or peer people where I can discuss about these obstacles and create a process to come over it? Peer people or peer people to discuss about this. Yes, and create a process. That's important. So you can rate yourself, and because I'm running out of time, I'll just give a quick summarization. You want to be the greatest. You don't want to just succeed. You want to be the greatest. And for that, you need resilience and situational optimism. And for having those things, you have to have a greater self-image of yourself, because what you do flows from who you see yourself. And when I say that the self-image is not coming from heaven, it is coming from your body of work. That means how much trust and respect you have for your talent. Then the talent is not enough. How much commitment you are having for the goal? You are willing to put the effort and actually achieve that goal. So that is not going to be a random process. So a dream has to convert into a goal, and goal has to convert into a process for to do that. Once you have created the process, you have to have a single-minded focus on the process to execute and get the result done. And when the problems come while you're executing the process, you have to be obsessed about learn effectiveness. You have to learn more and correct the process. And while you're doing that, when failures come, it is okay to be nervous. You understand nervousness is a part of a process that you care for your success. And even when you fail, you actually use that failure as pedestal for success, which are with the right people. By following these 10 commandments, I am sure you're going to have a great business here. Thank you.
Amazing. That was too much jam-packed into 25 minutes of time. It's like 20 minutes of time. So I'm happy that I've written it down, and I know I made a few mistakes here and there, but I'll share this in the WhatsApp group also.
And
so
for
that
everybody
others
who's
can refer to
attending,
it.
for everybody who's attending, you can do it on your own, and you can book a session with me for completely free. We can discuss the whole 10-step process, and we can have a subjective process or plan to execute this year. And completely willing to do that for BGSM.
Amazing. That's really amazing. We are running short of time. So if anyone has any question or you want to contribute anything, it's time now. I think we can take two of them. So anyone would like to ask any question or would like to contribute anything?
I don't know whether they are dumbstruck by my presentation or they are clueless of what I have talked. So
No. No, there's too much of information actually in one single presentation. So that's the probably one of the reasons. But let me see. Sometimes what happens? Okay, one thing that I realized is when I'm rating it for the items that you're mentioning, I'm rating a little high. But when I'm rating it separately for each one of them, it tends as it
Yes.
comes lesser than the actual one that I've
Yeah, that
rated.
is the that is the check, reality check we used to have,
Yeah,
because we cannot have it without logic. This rating should not be
correct,
without logic. I cannot be simply trusting my gut for that. So this
correct,
breaking
correct,
down of these elements into other three subcategories will tell you, let
correct,
you know how really you are actually rating yourself on that. So that's a
correct.
whole
Yeah.
idea behind it.
So that's one thing that I observed in this. And ideally, how much time would you recommend for entrepreneurs on a weekly basis for um, just doing this activity? That is, set aside time. See, what entrepreneurs do, we keep working, 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 working. That's how the whole time is. So, what would be your recommendation that, weekly we should set aside about 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours just to do this kind of an evaluation and then course correct ourselves or talk to a mentor, talk to a coach? How much time do you think ideally an entrepreneur should set aside?
Yeah, that depends where you are in the entrepreneurial journey. As you have different segments, right? Pathfinder,
Yeah,
trailblazer, peak performer. Likewise, every
yeah,
entrepreneur has a journey, and they are in some kind of places. So, if you are a
correct.
beginner, you should definitely give more time for your improvement, self improvement, and learning stuff, because there is uncertainty there. And learning and discussing your learning with your mentor, definitely you need to have 3 to 4 hours a week. You should be doing it. So as you
Okay.
go progress, the
Hmm.
doubts get less, and the interactions become much more crisper. So minimum 60 to 90 minutes a week is demanded for every entrepreneur to evaluate, learn, and discuss about what they have learned with their mentor or with their peers, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Yeah. So that is one thing.
So
Yeah.
using mistakes, I mean failures as better self does not mean that
Yes.
you
Yeah.
randomly use it.
Yeah.
Just for motivation is not going to help you to convert this failure into success. You have to understand what caused the failure, what are the obstacles that came in the way of your desired result,
Yeah.
and you have to sketch out a process to learn to come over this obstacles by the learned effectiveness, learned exceptionalism. So that is how you keep on improving.
Got it. I think this is really a very good checklist. As I said, I'll share this in the group so that others can use this Excel and do it for themselves. So I think we'll move on now. That was an awesome presentation. Thank you very much. Jam-packed, a very short but a very elaborate topic. Thank you. And please invite your friends, all of you. And if you feel you have something that can add value to all of us, like Mr. Suresh said something with all of us, and it really was very practical, though it is uh, not does not appear to be a practical kind of a list, but the way he has divided each one of them into three items and then made you think on each one of them and made you rate it so that you can then go back and give a average rating to the main. So it was very practically executed. Thank you very much. So if you all feel you have anything you'd like to share, please let me know. You can take up one of these sessions. And these are books that I recommend for people who are just starting business. And this is like if you would like to see how large organizations are run. And I always tell this when Mr. Suresh is there that if you have any specific topic or interest, or you find something difficult, anything specific book or information, always have a session with Mr. Suresh. He'll be able to help you out because he literally, eats, drinks,
Actually, I
walks,
read,
sleeps with books.
yeah,
Yeah.
I read 100 books a year, and
Yeah.
this is the sixth consecutive year where I have crossed 100 books. Tomorrow, I'll be posting the link of my web page where I list top 100 reads I have done in 2024 in BGSM WhatsApp group. So you can
Oh,
click on that
super.
link and go through that book, and I can, if it's something interesting, you can definitely pick up for a read.
Amazing. Yeah. That's really amazing. Yeah. So as I was saying, though I refer six books, you can probably get 600 different books. He'll tell you which book to read. So that's the person that we are talking to. So thank you very much for attending a wonderful session. Very, very, very important. I think every entrepreneur should definitely go through this kind of a activity on a regular basis and have a coach and a mentor. Otherwise, it can be quite difficult. something that we can achieve in a year, we may end up taking 10 years to, by learning the hard way. So definitely a very valuable lesson. Thank you very much, and wish you all a good night and a great week ahead and great success in business. Thank you all very
Thank you,
much.
Thomas. Good night. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Suresh.